What's going on, guys? It's the Iron Wolf, and I promise to get back to you once I learn some more about the Sargon situation with Patreon. Now, first things first, I am definitely not going to defend what Sargon said, in context or out of context. I get what he was trying to say, boy, let's be real. What he said was just stupid. That was just a lightning rod waiting to be struck. So, Sargon, if you happen to watch this video, I get what you were trying to say, and I know I too speak out about political correctness, but that's just one of those charged words you just really shouldn't use as a content creator. That's just a bad idea. Yes, Chris Rock can get away with it because he's a comedian, and even he's caught some flack for using the word. So, you were flying into a flack field with that one. So you did kind of bring it on yourself. So I have to put that out there. That being said, what Patreon has gone way overboard. And as Sargon himself put out, and you cannot trust Patreon, well, they're breaking their own rules in enforcement. Because Sargon rightly does point out that Patreon's own CEO specifically says that the hate speech and all this content was completely about what is on Patreon and what is posted to Patreon, not what is said in a live stream that he himself wasn't even hosting, that he showed up as a guest star. Now, again, what he said, stupid. For multiple reasons. He shouldn't have done it. Granted, free speech, but free speech has consequences and repercussions. But as I said, in this case, I think Patreon went way the hell overboard, and that their safety team that is running this superseded their own mandate. Because not only did he not post it to his Patreon, it was nowhere ever on his Patreon. It was on somebody else's channel. Completely on someone else's channel. And those rules and guidelines are to Patreon specific. But then if you watch his videos, some of the emails he gets back, they're completely pointing out that he said it, period, in some place that was completely observable, and that's why he's banned. Well, this is where I'm with Sargon, that Patreon has, like I said, superseded their own mandate and their own rules. Now it's anybody, anywhere, says something they don't like and they consider quote-unquote hate speech without really closely defining it, they give some broad general terms, they can be hammered off of Patreon. I mean, I personally don't have a Patreon. I'm too small, and I'm not trying to turn this into a day job. I don't have the time nor the effort. As you can see, I'm doing this while driving a truck. But, that being said, there are people whose channels out there I do watch, and I've been actually having a good chat on Twitter with the Lore Master Lore Reloaded. There's also Geeks and Gamers, World Class Bullshitters, Lord Doomcock, Mecha Random, Ivan, Jesse Milestone, Anna, that Star Wars girl. Granted, I don't think they're going to stray into this area, but it's an alarming trend. And I don't want to see them get nailed. And this is why I'm sounding the alarm. Yes, it's hyperbolic. Yes, it's a bit straw man. I totally agree. But I'd rather scream the sky is falling than not do anything and watching people take a hit. Because, as the CEO said, we're talking about people's livelihoods in some cases. I mean, my friend Jessie Milestone. I mean, she's not my good friend, but we're acquaintances. We talked. She does rely on her Patreon a lot. And I would hate to see her get completely screwed by Patreon because she says an offhanded comment that Patreon's like, nope, red flag, you're done. So, if Patreon does happen to see this video, you guys really need to restructure your rules and your completely, as Tim Pool says, asymmetrical enforcement of the rule. Because it seems like you guys have tried to stay non-ideological and political, but you have completely fallen right into it. Because I have seen multiple groups and people say stuff way worse or just as bad, not even get a slap on the hand, or people who literally promote violence on their Patreon not even get touched. But because they're on the same ideal gradient as you don't do anything to them. So it's either you enforce this clear across the rules across the entire spectrum, or you don't enforce it at all. Because this is beginning to get ridiculous. So, quite frankly, I'm of this mind when it comes to Patreon infractions. 3-strike rule. Patreon should have gotten a very stiff warning of, hey, this hit our radar. This is a big no-no. We're going to be watching you. You get strike 2, you're going to go on a probation. Strike 3, you're gone. That's the way you need to handle it. It's fair. It's just. It tells people, hey, we were, you know, yeah, there's a attention-getting thing, but it's just like one little minor infraction, and poof, you're gone. I mean, granted, Patreon doesn't have to do it, but I think it would go a long way to calming a lot of fears for people of just waking up one day like Sargon did, and poof, their stuff's gone. Their income source is gone. So that's my 2 cents on it, on a guy on the outside looking in, because I see this trend and it does worry me. So in the comments below, for all my people out there and anybody else who sees this, tell me what you think. Sargon, to wrap this up and go back to my original point, what you said, quite frankly, it was wrong. It was stupid. You can't, and even in your video, you say you can't do a racial slur against Nazis. Sorry, buddy, I gotta call bullshit on that one. You can racially degenerate anybody, regardless of how bad of a person they are. Racism is racism. It don't matter who you do it against. But I get the context of what you're shooting for, kind of like Chris Rock. But that was just a bad move, brother. It was just a bad move. But anyways, leave in the comments below, tell you how you feel. I'm not telling people like Tim Pool also said to completely throw off Patreon, completely unsubscribe, completely take your business elsewhere. I'm not saying that. My overall reaching point is watch your six and watch what you say. Because now the Puritans are really starting to crack down on people they don't like. But can't crack down on me because I ain't got their services and I don't plan to at this point, the way their slip there is going. But anyways, I'm the Iron Wolf. That's my 2 cents to wrap up this whole Patreon thing with Sargon. I'll catch y'all next time.